Are you having a temper tantrum with a God? Do you feel like you don't know what's going on in your life or where you're headed or you're confused? Are you maybe angry at yourself or even at God for putting you in a certain situation right now? What I've come to discover throughout my life journey and throughout my relationship with God is that peace will eventually just come upon you. It is inevitable. Eventually, you will come out of the valley, right? And one thing that I've come to recognize too is that either you are coming into a valley or you're going out of a valley. Really, that's where it's at. Rarely are we on top of hills all the time. We're either again coming into a valley or coming out of a valley. And our goal shouldn't necessarily be to always be on top of the world, on top of the game, on top of the mountain. That is part of life too. But most of life is to navigate from one valley into another valley, from one mountain per se to another one. And that is completely okay. So, again, peace will come upon you. It is inevitable. So I encourage you, if you find yourself right now in that place of like, what's going on? I don't understand anything. Acknowledge it. But at one point, it's time to get out of the pity party and just go to the Lord, go to God. And God is here right now. He's in the stillness, He's in the silence. He's with you even when you feel most confused. So everything you want is not in a circumstance. It is not in reaching that mountaintop. It is not in getting out of the valley. It's not getting into another one. It's not in the ending. It's not in the beginning. It's everything in between. Truly, that is where He is and where He's found. And maybe you actually have a reason to be upset. Maybe you are questioning God right now. And sometimes I do too. I actually do it most of the time. That's where I feel like I've been occupying myself my entire life. I've been fairly philosophical and introspective and questioning a lot existentially, and it's just growing inside of me this kind of need to know God even further. And I do know that His ways are higher than our ways very often. And God does not want you to go through anything alone. It is with God. And it is through God and with God that you develop a stronger relationship to yourself, to your journey, to people around you, when you can rely a little bit more on God than only on your way or the highway, basically, or the way of the world. Because the way of the world will tell you what to do to succeed. But that might not be what God has for you in the gifts that He's planted, and the seeds that He's planted inside of you that's waiting for you to tap into them. That's waiting for you to nourish them, right? So it can be your way, society's way, the world's way, or it can be God's way, which is the seeds that are within you. So He wants to take what you're carrying and trade it for peace, no matter what you're going through. So what I've found really helpful sometimes recently is to, if I find that I need something or like I'm looking to have some guidance, I sit with myself, but I also go to the Bible and I just open it and I just say, Lord, I need you right now. That's it. And just sit in stillness and be guided to a certain passage or a verse and just wait in faithfulness. And you don't need a podcast. You don't even need me or any influencer or anyone at all. You need the presence of God. And God can speak to you through the silence. And through the word. There's a lot of ancient wisdom that is overlooked that we can actually find so that we can better navigate the valleys and the mountaintops. So that is where you can get in touch with the presence of God, right? And really, what's happening, when we're having a temper tantrum with God and we don't understand anything, we don't understand what's going on, is that we get separated from God oftentimes. We feel even more separate from Him. But actually, it's in those times that we're closer to God. If we really, really, really deeply surrender, those are the times that we're most close to God, when we don't know ourselves. And that's an opportunity to grow closer with God and let the seeds within you come to fruition, and let yourself be guided by something grander than yourself and your own ego, basically. And there's a passage in the Bible that says that, Lord, lead me beside me to still waters. And it's so true. No one can lead me into still waters, right? I can obviously work with my psychology. I can work with my mindset, and that has value to it. But besides that, I can't point to anything or anyone grander than God that has led me into still waters, because there are so many elements and so many pieces to the puzzle that have to fall into place for me to come to this place throughout my entire journey, growing from growing up, having to be an adult very early, then bullying, then being alone a lot, loneliness, growing through that, and being very confused about myself, which I think that most went through and are going through or growing through at any point in life, really, or identity crisis or this and that. And throughout it all, even though that I grew up as an atheist and then went into new age spirituality and like a lot of modalities and everything to try to calm myself down through those turbulent moments of questioning my existence, even, it all came down to this kind of still whisper and voice that guided me through it all. And so, yeah, He can lead you into still waters, even when you have temper tantrums with God, because He doesn't judge you. That's the thing. In New Age spirituality, we're actually told that, we're all about healing, like heal yourself, heal yourself, heal yourself. You're responsible for your own healing. And you're responsible to grow out of your temper tantrums, right? But what if that's part of the journey? What if God is with you even during that? So maybe that's part of the plan. And if that was the case, notice what kind of peace come upon you. So this and more are questions that we explore inside of the garden. And I'm so committed to grow in community with others who are on this journey to grow closer to God, even when you have temper tantrums in your life or towards yourself or even towards God. And you can explore more about that by either messaging me, or you can go to the link in the bio to know more and to join in. Yes. So with that, have a great one, and I will see you tomorrow.